What's up, everybody? And today we are reacting to 12 weirdest but amazing military weapons ever created. This is by Mad Labs. There'll be a link down below to the original video. Please go over there, give it a like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Link down below. Please make sure you do that. Before we get started, though, I wanted to have a quick chat. I've changed my setup here on my computer, which means there's a few technical things that I've had to change as well. So, no gameplay for about a week because I'm waiting on one bit of tech to help me record some gameplay. So, that's going to be put off just for about a week. I think it gets delivered on Friday, you know, a day or two to kind of tune it up, make sure it works. And then we're going to be into it, playing some more Modern Warfare 2019 realism playthrough and Call of Duty Zombies. Okay, so just bear that in mind. It's going to be about a week, and then we'll get gameplay back up. So this week, expect some reaction, some horror reaction tomorrow, and all that good stuff, okay? Question of the day before we get started, though, comes from Stealth Abrams. He says, question, will you ever consider playing Ready or Not now that leaks show the developers moving into a more military horror with the game? Most teasers are leaning towards SCP crossover, PC game, FYI. So, I've covered Ready or Not on this channel before. I genuinely think it looks like a really, really cool game, but I'm terrible with a mouse and keyboard. It doesn't mean that I can't learn it, right? I can learn it, but it's a bit of a struggle for me to get used to. So, with that being said, yes, I will give it a try if it's going into horror, because I think military horror is one of my favorite genres. And I think that would be an absolute ton of fun. A game that is really centered around military tactics, but then integrating a little bit of horror in there. Ooh! Let me know in the comments. Comment down below. Do you want to see me play Ready or Not horror if it comes out? Or any other military horror game? Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you for your question, Abrams. If you want your question answered, leave it in the comment section down below. But for now, let's shut up. Let's check this out. 12 weirdest but amazing military weapons ever created by Mad Labs. Let's check this out.
Have you ever seen those crazy game mods that make weapons that are very weird?
Yes.
Completely unrealistic, right?
Yes.
But what about sticky grenades and tanks that shoot off nuclear missiles?
Yes.
Today, we'll show you the weirdest but amazing military weapon. But first, subscribe to our channel and head over, link down below,
check it out. If there's some of the most extreme weapons they've got in here, I might already know most of these, but we'll see.
Do you good. This horned contraption terrified the Allies.
Yes, mine. I know about this one.
Spring Mine 35 was the oddest and most fearsome mine in history.
Yep.
It would be buried in the ground, but as soon as an enemy soldier stepped on the mine, even in the slightest, it would jump up 1.5 meters in the air and go off.
So these are things that we learned about doing pre-deployment training that you learn different things, right? You learn about different IDs and stuff like that, and there are some that shoot out the ground, and one of the most important things to do in that case is to get on the ground. If you see something shoot up, you get down. Tactics might have changed since then, but that was something we learned in training, I'm pretty sure. Not in pre-deployment, in training, I think we did.
360 steel bearings flung out at 1,000 meters per second.
That's terrifying.
Everything in a 100-meter radius. This operating principle gave the mine its nickname Frog Mine on the eastern front and Bouncing Betty on the western front. I think this is the real...
See, I've heard Bouncing Betty more than anything about that one.
Crazy Frog. This is not a gigantic lollipop. It's a British number 74 sticky bomb. It was ideally meant to be thrown at tanks, and it would stick to them and detonate.
Hey, this is a great idea. It really is. One thing that I'm not very good at is throwing. Good at kicking a football, bad at throwing an American football. Having a sticky grenade gives you the opportunity to genuinely go and place that grenade and have it stay in a certain position, whether that be on a wall, on a ceiling, on the floor, wherever, on a person. If you're playing Halo, throw that sticky grenade and stick them. But you get the idea. It's actually a really, really good idea.
Blowing a hole open in the tank's armor. However, for this to work, the tank had to be dry and clean. Epic fail.
Yeah, so it's not perfect.
Covered with adhesive was placed over the grenade, and in that way, it could stick to the enemy's gear. But
yeah.
In order to hit the tank, soldiers had to walk up very close to it. This is the German ancestor of the drone. The Goliath was a self-propelled mine used in World War II.
So this one, I only learned about on this channel, that this was actually a thing and that it was real. I didn't know it was real, and this is fantastic.
This mini tank was sent off on its way with the help of a control panel and 650 meters of cable.
That's crazy.
The tank was loaded with 100 kilograms of explosive. This kamikaze on tank treads would sneak up to an enemy tank and make a very powerful
Boom.
Why not go for a ride on one?
That's really cool. That's really cool.
The M388 Davy Crockett. This was the smallest nuclear weapon in history.
Okay, I don't know about this one.
This miniature atomic bomb weighed just 56 kilograms,
What?
which is 80 times lighter than the bomb dropped on Hiroshima. The
Sheesh.
M388 shell had a maximum flight distance of 4 kilometers within a radius of 500 meters, was guaranteed to suffer the effects of radiation exposure.
Wow.
Due to the risk faced by the very soldiers deploying it, the M388 Davy Crockett was retired.
I'm not surprised it was retired. Guy just popping a nuke on his shoulder, going over and loading it onto what looks like a makeshift mortar weapon, and then just friggin' blowing it up. What?
The legendary German Panzerfaust was one of the most infamous grenade launchers used in World War II.
Okay, I've seen this one
It could
before.
effortlessly penetrate armor 200 millimeters thick. This was enough to blow a hole in the front of even the strongest Soviet tank.
Wow.
The IS-2. The Panzerfaust weighed just 7 kilograms.
I think I learned this from Battlefield 1. I'd like to say I learned about this weapon, which is ironic, right? A lot of people know a lot about military weapons. You would be surprised how many people actually learn this stuff through video games. It's actually really impressive.
And it had low recoil. Thus, even teenagers could use this grenade launcher. To effectively hit the opponent with the Panzerfaust, a soldier had to walk up to within 30 meters of the target. A second later, the shell would have left a gaping hole in the enemy tank. And look at this marvel. The German Sturmpistol was a compact bazooka that could be held in one hand,
What?
but still pierce through armor 80 millimeters thick.
I've not seen this one before. This one's pretty nuts.
That's twice as thick as a T-34 tank's armor.
Wow.
It's like artillery that conveniently fits in your pocket.
That's really cool.
The M65 was the world's first atomic artillery piece and the most powerful
That's a big ass gun, that, isn't it?
mobile cannon in American Army history. Nicknamed Atomic Annie, it used W9 shells with a length of 138 centimeters.
Wow.
These shells weighed 364 kilograms.
Sheesh.
The M65 could fire an atomic warhead a distance of 24 kilometers. As an M65 cannon weighed 42 tons, it was transported by 2 special trucks.
Yeah, so it's a thick boy, basically. I mean, it's a big bit of kit that's been evolved since then. Holy God, guys, this is ridiculous.
15 minutes after firing its round, the Atomic Annie could be moved to another location, making it hard for the enemy to detect.
Yep.
In spite of the name, the American Little David mortar was the world's largest. With a caliber of 914 millimeters,
Wait,
it still
what?
holds the record for the world's largest caliber artillery piece.
What?
Just one of these, with a barrel that was 7 meters long, weighed 36 tons. Just look at what the Little David shoots off. This gigantic
I love that they called it Little David.
shell is taller than a typical adolescent male.
Yeah.
It weighs 1,678 kilograms,
Sheesh.
and half of that weight consists of explosives. Look at what hits. It is 4 meters deep and 12 meters across.
Wow.
No actual application in wartime was ever found for the Little David.
Yeah, I
To
bet.
fire off a single round required a whole 12 hours of preparation. A weird and amazing military weapon, but not a very practical one.
Yeah, at this point, you can get bigger explosions easier, right? With things that aren't as big and cumbersome as that, especially with a 12-hour setup. Jeez, but you can see what direction they were going with this, right? It was like, let's make... someone was sat in a room, they were like, all right, guys, hear me out. We're going to make the biggest cannon you've ever seen in your life. It's going to take 12 hours to set up, but it's going to be a thick boy. It's going to be super girthy, and it's going to leave a 4-meter hole in the ground. Jeez.
The Soviet Atomic 2B1 Oka mine thrower was the first self-propelled atomic gun in history.
Look at
Look
that.
at its enormous
It looks like it would tip over.
barrel, 20 meters long. That is twice the length of the carrier vehicle itself. The 2B1 Oka was intended to fire off atomic shells, each weighing 670
That's
kilograms.
ridiculous, isn't it? And a lot of these are like World War I and II, where people were really trying to push the boat with weaponry. Now we have like the insight to be able to do bigger things with smaller weapons. Do you get what I'm saying? Which is really important.
2B1 Oka could launch an atomic shell a distance of 25 kilometers.
Sheesh.
If a shell equipped with a reactive engine was used, the distance could reach 50 kilometers. The recoil when firing off a round was so powerful, the 55-ton carrier vehicle would roll a whole 5 meters back.
Jeez, guys, listen. Bigger isn't always better. I'm telling you right now.
This brutal recoil, the 2B1 Oka never actually saw the battlefield.
I bet it didn't.
You're looking at a glider that was never destined to land safely.
Yeah.
The Yokosuka MXY-7 Oka was
Didn't we watch a video on this? How, like, the people who flew them knew that they were going to die because there's no way to land them, and they're literally made for kamikaze. I think we watched a video on this.
Japanese steered bomb operated by kamikaze.
Yep.
Thanks to the 1,200 kilogram bomb in its nose, Y-7
Wow.
Oka had no engine for takeoff and landing. It was brought up into the air by a bomber. The glider then detached and set a course for its target.
Oh, so maybe we saw a different one, but it's the same. It's the same like
The
idea.
pilot activated a rocket engine and gained speed with the intent of ramming his target. The glider's speed reached as high as 1,100
Wow.
kilometers per hour. But for comparison, the speed of a Boeing 777 is just 905
Yeah.
kilometers per hour.
Basically, it's a fast boy.
Sometimes a Yokosuka MXY-7 Oka glider would smash right through a ship, and only then would its explosives detonate.
Sheesh.
Our next weapon might rank among the world's most peculiar and offbeat. The Fugo was a balloon bomb from Japan, and the Japanese army used it to bomb the United States and Canada.
What? I never knew about this.
In fact, for the first several months, the Americans had no idea what was going on.
Yeah, I
since
bet.
the radars could not pick up hot air balloons. The Fugo balloon had a diameter of 10 meters. A bomb would be attached to the underside in the middle and ringed by several incendiary bombs as well.
Interesting.
A special timer would cause the bombs to drop after an interval of 72 hours. Time
People get so creative in war. It's kind of sad, isn't it, really?
for the balloon to fly from Japan to North
That it takes
America.
war to become this creative.
Was the world's first weapon that could be used intercontinentally.
Jeez.
The Fugo was equipped with an autopilot. If the balloon exceeded an altitude of 11 kilometers, a sensor would bleed some hot air and cause the balloon to descend. When the Fugo
Interesting.
had dropped below an altitude of 9 kilometers, a sensor would drop a sandbag to force the balloon to ascend to the needed altitude. After
Interesting.
dropping its cargo of bombs, the balloon would self-destruct.
Interesting.
During the war, the Japanese dropped around 9,300 such balloons.
9,300? Holy! Hot air balloon bombs. Who'd have thought?
During World War II, the people of New Zealand feared a Japanese invasion. The New Zealand Army didn't have enough tanks, and so they put 12mm thick armor on American Caterpillar D8 tractors.
What?
This armor was enough to protect the vehicles from small arms fire.
Amazing.
The makeshift tank was equipped with 6 machine guns that could completely sweep the surrounding
Look at that tractor. Can you get that on Farming Simulator?
area. The Bob Semple tank turned out to be quite tall at 3.6 meters, which was 1 meter taller than a standard military tank.
Wow.
Due to all the armoring, the tractor's weight soared from 15 tons to 25 tons.
We need this in a battlefield game. We really do.
Unfortunately, this wonder of design was never used in actuality,
Aw.
and it was converted back into a tractor without ever seeing combat.
They just changed it back into a tractor. No big deal,
The
guys.
Bike was World War II's smallest motorcycle. It didn't shoot anything, but maybe it put the enemy into a laughing fit.
Okay.
The Bike weighed 32 kilograms.
That's a great idea.
He dropped
That's a solid idea. That's a great idea.
from a plane along with a group of paratroopers. Making the motorcycle ready for action took just 11 seconds. The Bike could reach speeds of 50 kilometers per hour, and the gas in the tank was enough to cover 140 kilometers of road.
That's amazing. I want one. That's fantastic.
Those are impressive numbers for such a tiny little thing.
It is.
However, the small 30-centimeter wheels did not allow this motorcycle to go off-road.
Yeah, but that's
Don't worry, nothing happened to this submachine gun.
that's such a great idea. Just drop in little tiny motorbikes so people can get around really easy. That's a great idea.
It simply had a German Krumlauf attachment placed.
Oh my god.
In this clever way, a STG-44 rifle could be transformed into an odd but remarkable weapon that could now shoot around corners.
Surely that didn't
Krumlauf
work.
was attached to the muzzle of the weapon so that the bullet's course through the barrel would bend. This made it possible for a soldier to fire around a corner or
There's no way that
without
worked.
sticking his head out. To aim, the soldier could peer through a special periscope sight. The idea of a gun with a curved barrel has been taken up by a number of countries ever since. In Israel, the corner shot accessory.
See, I've seen this before, which is actually a really good idea because it's not like a curved barrel, but it is a fantastic idea to look around corners, especially when it comes to CQB and stuff like that. And I think I've done a video on that before in the past. But a curved barrel is just, it's going to break. It's not going to work.
was invented, which allows one
That's a
to
great
fire
idea.
around a corner and aim with the aid of a digital camera.
Yeah.
And that's all.
The only thing I have an issue with that gun that shoots around corners is your fire placement and getting in the correct position to shoot, because you're going to have a recoil that goes away from your body, right? So if you're shooting like this and you're shooting the opposite way, your recoil is going to go that way. So the way that you have your fire position is going to have to be drastically different, and there's going to be some different types of supports and techniques to learn how to shoot that. But it's a great idea for CQB. Don't know whether it's been implemented or not. We can do a video on that in another time. That's it for the video. It's just going to do the outro.
Hope you liked the video.
Definitely go down to the link below. Give it a like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. It was a good video. There was some stuff there I've seen before, some stuff that I'd never seen before that was genuinely interesting that I had no idea about. I think... Oh, my bad. I think my favorite was the bike. Even though it wasn't a weapon, I think it's a genuinely good idea. Oh, actually, the tractor was pretty good, wasn't it? What was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section down below. Members, you're beautiful. You're amazing. I love you. I couldn't do this without you. I honestly couldn't make videos every single day, or nearly every day at this point, without these beautiful people. Look at these beautiful people scrolling across the screen. I love you guys. Thank you for supporting the channel. Links down below to all my socials. Original Adventures, my other channel. Link down below if you want to see vlogs and the tour of the bus. I might do a new updated video or short about my computer setup. We'll see. Let me know in the comments what you think about that. But we definitely go and check out Original Adventures and check out the Sword and Scabbard, my new channel for all things fantasy. Linked down below. Other than that, I think that's it. Horror video tomorrow. Other than that, I love you all. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.